I'm a Radiant Sentinel main, and today I'm going to teach you guys everything you need to know about how to play Cypher on Abyss. So this will be setups for the A site, setups for the B site, how to hold the flank, and just overall how to be a good Cypher player on Abyss. I'm going to run you guys through a bunch of trips as quickly as possible that you can use to get free kills on the enemies. So basically you can do one trip right here at the very top of this wall like this, get some good value. So when they run across this and they jump across, they'll have to land through this trip so it'll hit them. And then when the barrier drops, you can do any sort of these trips right here. There's trips on this ledge right here. So when the enemies go to run and jump across, they'll hit this trip and then fall into the void. It's hilarious. Or a potentially better one is right here. So when the enemies go to make this jump right here, they'll almost no matter what land in this trip, allowing you to be able to pop a cage or something over here and catch free kills on those people on these trips. Another option is to do a trip like this, and if you do it really well, it's almost a one-way trip. It's a one-way trip on this side. So when the enemies come over here to like make this jump, they'll be caught lacking by this really weird trip. Similar thing goes for this side. When the barrier goes down, you can drop a trip anywhere along this line. So you can even do one here or any trip along this line here. So you can even do like a double trip right when the round starts. So both of these trips and then come back into safety. And these trips will get free value because they might break the first one and then the second one they'll walk into. For this side, you can do anything along these green barrels like this. So you can do any different combination of trips on this barrel that you want. Something that's really strong is doing one like here. And then enemies run up the path this way, they'll get hit. Another trip that I really like is this trip right here. Really strong, and it's on a really weird angle to catch people lacking. Either that or you can do a normal trip anywhere along this line. A lot of the time people will catch on to this trip being here or these trips being here. So this is the other trip I would run right here, and it's really good. So you'll be catching people running into this side to be able to plant the bomb. To play off of all of these different trips, here are the two cages you want to use. First cage you want to throw somewhere on this corner right here, and then you want to throw the other cage perfectly as best as you can in between these two boxes. So if you're planning on playing backside, make sure you do it to the right a little bit more to cover you completely. Okay, so when the enemies are running up, you can pop this cage right here, and then you can play spam on all your trips, or you can even spam through this box on this side. And if the enemy jumps into any of your trips on the right side, you can throw this cage down and free spam kills. And if you want to be really cheeky, all of these trips right here, you can play here and spam through this. And yeah, that's how you really infuriate people. If you want to use like an Odin or something, you can get a lot of trip kills just for free through the wall without ever having to take a risky fight and worry about getting spammed back through your cage. I found 3 different cams that I think are really good for this map, and here they are. First one, right when the barrier drops, you can throw a cam right here. And the reason I like this one a lot is because it's kind of hidden. So the enemy POV, like look at this. It's going to be hard for you to like notice this camera because it's kind of hidden behind this thing, and you get information for absolutely everything. Similar to that one, you can do a camera right here. If you want to do a camera before the round starts, you can do one here, and it's kind of hidden by that little pillar on the left side, just like the other one. So really nice to get full sight information. And one that I found really fun is you could do one like over here on this wall, like anywhere, and you can get instant information on people being pushed up B. You can throw this cam off the start of the round, no one's here, you can have all your teammates like 4A. Like, you know what I mean? So it gives you a lot of early round information. Before I get into the A site setups, here's a quick little reminder to subscribe if you guys like videos like this. Sentinel guides in the future, I'm making updated Cypher guides for this map, Killjoy guides, and maybe even Deadlock guides. So if you guys like those kind of videos, if you want Sentinel guides for all the different maps, make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned in for that. Rapid fire kill trips on the A site to make your enemies furious. I like to do a trip anywhere along this box right here, but I bring it out a little bit because then it hides a little bit more deeper here. So when the enemies come in, this will be an easy one to catch people lacking, but it is on the easier side to break. Another trip I really like is this one right here. I think this one's going to be super strong. It's kind of behind the box and over here, so it's hard to break when they start scaling into sight. This one will catch some people lacking. Another trip I really like to do is anything along these green boxes. There are some really wild trips you can do. One that even comes all the way over here. You could also do a trip anywhere along this or like this wall right here. And the reason I like to put a lot of different variety of trips on this side is because the default plant is going to be in this corner or this corner. That's where I notice the majority of people going to plant the spike right now. So you want to have some traps to be able to kill that person. Some more trips I like to do is you can do one along this wall right here to catch people scaling up the right side, or you could do a trip right here to catch someone trying to run across this little bridge right here and catch them with a free kill. If you want to get freaky because a lot of your trips are continuing to be broken, you could do something weird like this one right here that comes across, or this one here that comes down on an angle. And like there's a lot of weird trips you can kind of place down off of this little like generator looking box right here. If all of these trips here are getting like naded and broken, trips you can do is do like a trip here, and then you come over here on this side and do a basic trip like right here, just to stop the enemies from taking backside on you. You go, Cam, well, where do you want to put your cages here? How do you want to play off of these trips? Here's the best options for you. You can throw a cage right here, and you could throw a cage over here. And then when they start running into sight, you can kind of pop both of these cages like this, and you can play in them and try to get spam kills off these trips and just maintain control of the back sight. But even better, when the enemies smoke off heaven, you have full range of sight of every single one of your trips from this position right here, and you can spam this box even right here. If they hit that front trip, this one that goes here to here, you'll be able to spam them. So you can kill everyone basically by sitting behind the smoke, or if you want to cage it yourself, you can cage it yourself, and then it even allows you to drop down into sight afterwards and take more fights on these players and catch them lacking. The best cypher cams I've found for this site is you can throw one right up here and do it on the left side of this light like this, and you can see into main the second the round starts, so you'll be able to get early information to anyone coming up A main. Some really fun ones is this one up here that you can throw when the round starts, but you have to like crouch and be careful. You can get a cam anywhere up on this wall right over here and instantly get full information on A main. Really good stuff. Another cam you can do is throw a cam anywhere up in this corner right here, because it basically forces the enemies to have to walk all the way up A main and turn their back to you potentially to break this camera, so you can probably catch a few people lacking. And if you want to be really weird, you can really throw a trip like here, or throw a trip here, or what I think is hilarious is doing a trip like this. After the barrier drops, you'll be able to catch someone big time lacking when they're walking up A main. They might hear you click the trip down, but they'll have no idea. They'll probably just think you put it here, right? So when they're running up A main off rip, you'll be able to catch someone lacking off that, and you can just do a normal cage in the doorway to potentially get a kill off of that. Really funny stuff. If you want to do a cam that you can use to like retake the site with, I would throw a cam anywhere like up here on this wall, so you're just playing out of sight, and now you have full information to where all the people are playing in sight in a post plant situation. Or you can throw it anywhere here or here, just up on this wall, that the enemies won't be able to look behind them to break that easily. In terms of setups for the middle of the map to get kills with, there's not many options. You're gonna have to play mid more for information if you want to play towards mid, and I'm sure in the future there'll be like more creative different cypher setups for mid, but I'm going to show you guys what I have so far. Is I would throw a camera anywhere up on this top wall right here, so then you get access to the information of anyone peeking up top or coming over here. You guys can see where the barrier is, so it kind of limits you a lot, but you can do a basic info trip right here, and then you could do another basic info trip like right here, so that the enemies can't like push into your spawn without you knowing, or if they break the cam off rip, you'll still have those trips up for information. But when the barrier drops, you can do a weird trip like this one right here, where you can throw it right up against this box like this. And this is a really like almost impossible to see tripwire, because the end is here and the other end is over here, so they might be able to hear it, but it's basically a one-way trip that's hard to break. But in terms of tripwires for anywhere up top, the only option you have is up and down trips, so there's probably not going to be anything useful for that. So when I'm playing Cypher on this map, I would highly suggest you guys stick to the A site or stick to the B site, and let your duelist or like your Sova or your information character to play mid. Outside of putting this cam, I don't think you're going to be that useful mid. Here's some tips to use while you're attacking with Cypher on this map. Some really strong things you can do is right when the round starts, you can come up mid and throw your camera right here, pop it, and you can see mid. If anyone's pushing mid, they're walking down mid or trying to do anything aggressive, you can catch them off guard. Or you can run up here, jump, throw your camera here as well, and you'll kind of get that same amount of information. So it's really good of getting info mid. And I want to say, guys, Cypher is not as dimensional as just throw trip per flank and then they can't flank. You can use a lot of your util to help your team on attack. On the A site, there'll be like an omen smoke right here. You can literally run up and throw your camera up against this wall, clear this right corner for your team to make sure no one's ratting close with a shotgun, and clear this angle here. And now you have that info for your team, so they don't have to worry about it. Close is clear, guys. Now they don't have to worry about it, and they can scale into sight and focus on just the back sight angles. And after you plant the bomb, you can save one of your trips, throw it here, so when the enemies go to defuse the bomb that's in this corner, they have to walk into that trip, and maybe your team will get a free kill through the smoke. And then you have a camera for post plant as well to scan the person who's trying to defuse the bomb if they didn't break that camera. So there's a lot more you can do than just run in with your team and hope to God you win the gunfights. But when it does come to holding the flanks, everyone wants to know, so here are the best trips that I found. Best one for A flank is this one right here. It stops anyone from flanking all the way mid and all the way through B, and it gives you really early notice to anybody flanking, so you have time to go check and kill them. Another trip, if you want, you could do this if you specifically want to hold anyone flanking mid, right? So you can do that one. And When it comes to the B site holding flank, it's a little bit more complicated. So one trip right here will hold anyone flanking the B site through spawn, but it won't hold anyone who comes through mid. And when I've played this map, a lot of people flank through this window when you're planting the B site. So if you want to stop that, you could do a trip here. Like while you're like after the round starts, you guys run up, you can just throw a trip here. And if you have the double trips, it'll fully prevent anyone from flanking towards the B side. I want to remind you guys that this map is not even out yet. So this is all the information I have for Cypher now. But in the future, I do plan on making an updated guide for this map, as I also stream every single day at twitch.tv/CaMbCaMb. So if you guys want to have any questions answered right away, you can come through my stream and I'll answer them right away. Or if you're just interested in watching Sentinel gameplay overall, I play Killjoy and Cypher almost every single game in ranked. So if you guys want to learn how to play off these setups and how to be like a smarter Sentinel in ranked, come through my stream and ask any questions. And thank you guys for watching the video, and thank you guys for the support. Have a great day.